puzzle
Yep.
solving ensues.
I have a lot of notes that I wrote down. I think everyone remembers how helpful and essential I was to this puzzle solving process. My notes say ilk, silk, puke, hawk, ice, pale, sail, tape, take, data like soup again. Oh, stupid lake. That was the one I got fixated on for a while. Because I figured out that this puzzle was probably an anagram.
Now I get the joke about the riddle answer.
Data like soup was an anagram of some sort, and I sat here convinced that it was oh stupid lake for a very long time. And then I just have sort of nonsense combinations of these letters that are nothing. Eptica ode. I remember making a joke at some point that Dailu, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but we had determined that a sequence of words that we needed to decrypt was weed, rain, demon leaf, or wave, and that Dailu had taken this too literally and was just off in a corner getting high. Dailu's upset at the concept of puzzles.
The thing we eventually figured out was that each of the objects on the tablet was a color, and then the crowns gave us a number associated with each of those colors, which put the words in an order for us. And then we sat for a very long time trying to figure out what that order meant.
Yes, and we learned that we were pretty certain that data like soup was an outlier. That was a separate step in the puzzle.
Yeah, and someone had mentioned, oh, maybe it's an anagram or something, or maybe anagram's not the right word, but a word jumble, whatever thing. So, yeah,
I think we figured that part out first, which was speak it aloud was the phrase, and then everyone got super worried.
You were like, don't say anything.
And we got it down to 2, and we weren't sure. We drained them only for wave, or we'd trade them only for wave, and we weren't sure how far the sound alike went. If it was we drained them and it was drained them, or we'd trade them and and we weren't sure which one it was, and we decided not to say either of them.
And the one thing that I wanted to mention here is the main reason we were freaking out so much about speak it aloud here was because we just learned that story magic and word magic and fae
speaking things into being
and everything many of the things we fought here have been fae. Fae incursions upon the material plane. Others have been aberrant incursions upon the material plane. Yep.
Yeah, and I remember 2 things. One, that this puzzle solving took like hours. Like we were going crazy on it. And 2, that talking about the Fae thing, someone I think had mentioned, probably Vane, had mentioned like Fae trickery, and that we were like super paranoid that we were gonna accidentally say something that like screwed us the hell over. And even once we had found it out, the 2 things you had just said, we weren't sure what was going to happen when we did that. Like, is this going to trade our souls? Is this going to drain us and kill us? Is this going, we didn't know quite what it was talking about. So yeah, this session ended with us going, hey, think on this and see what what are you going to do next time?
Yep.
Basically, at the end of this, we had found everything in the maze, and it was just a matter of like, are you going to actually say the thing or not say the thing?
And we debated for like an hour.
Yeah, and then we just stopped the session there. And then
I also found a meme that I put way more time into that I should have, that I just linked in the channel. A GIF of all of our things that we had put together over the Zach Galifianakis doing.
Oh right.
Scoop, oh stupid, like up.
I'm
like
gonna.
puke salts.
I'm gonna open this up in a sec.
That's fantastic.
Oh, good. Oh my goodness. Hang
And
on, I have to
then-
get my last cup of coffee.
And I actually do have notes for this next one.
Well, so yeah, I was gone for that next session.
That's why I have notes.
Is this a good stopping point, or should we stop after we do the next one?
I think after, so there's I think a good stopping point, which I believe was the end of this session, where it was the shipwreck that we found after we left the pirates. I think
Okay.
that's a good ominous stopping place, probably.
Okay, well, you guys carry on because again, I was not here for this one.
I
Okay.
mean, Thane was there
So the
in
first.
spirit.
Should we wait for Tracy to get back, or?
Well, I think we can probably talk about the first thing, which happened very quickly, which was
Oh yeah.
Orin's like, I'm gonna say the thing as we leave, and Vane was like, please don't. I don't want us to say the thing.
I actually have the first thing in my notes for Paul was after a good 30 minutes of in-character bickering, we, in parentheses, Orin, said the word.
And did you say drain or trade?
I said we
Right.
drained them only for wave.
Okay.
And as I said that, we backed everyone up to one side of the ship, and I went to the other, and I stood up and I said that, and kind of expecting a large blast or something to teleport in, there was just a little boop, and in my hands was a bottle of Sovereign Glue, which I still have.
Yeah, this stuff is cool, and we have not found a use for it.
I have no idea. Knowing the way the story goes from here, this point up until like present day, I have no idea why we got Sovereign Glue.
It's just
And
the.
it's like super duper duper duper. Like if you glue two things together with this,
Yeah,
They
the only
cannot-
thing that can.
It's the
get
only
it
thing
apart
that
is-
can get Orin to keep it together. No.
I still think that the intended use was for us to glue all the magic weapons together and make Voltron magic weapon.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
In Oren's head, he's like, if we stick them all together. But
I had a
everybody
note
was
And
actually
then
somewhere-
throw it into the water.
I had a note somewhere of like, can we glue Black Razor into an indestructible scabbard,
Yes.
and/or into a rock and create a sword in the stone situation?
I wonder if all we would have created at that point, though, is just a club that has Black Razor's stats.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just
the way it works
learned-
for people who don't know is that it's when two things are stuck together with it and you're that set, only Oil of Etherealness, which is equally as rare, or a Wish spell are the only
Universal
two things.
solvent.
Universal Solvent, thank you. Universal Solvent or a Wish spell are the only things that can get Sovereign Glue to unstick.
Yep, and I think universal solvents ironically only applicable uses to get rid of sovereign glue. One moment.
Well, I think it also gets rid of
Universal.
regular glue. It would just be a real waste of Universal Solvent to use it that way.
we could use it to stick our ship together so it doesn't sink.
Oh.
I actually, so I'm going to issue a correction. I can't remember the order things happen in today. What happens next is actually when our prisoners revolted.